Hi there, 420 MSP, Harry Brailsford here, and I'm back with Duane Roebuck from BlueStar, one of the thought leaders and certainly capitalizing for some time on the cannabis vertical with this technology play over in distribution. So Duane, from my home office to your home office, good day, sir.
Hey, good day, Harry. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. So what I want to talk about is about a week ago, on the 17th, almost 10 days ago, Ganjapreneur dropped a piece. Graham Abbott did a piece on dispensary sales surge amid social distancing. And in particular, you get about halfway down the article, and they're talking about sales of adult use cannabis in Washington were up 23% on Friday and 14% on Saturday and 33% on Sunday. You get the point, is that there seems to be a surge in the cannabis supply chain. So let's just open it up for kind of a conversation. You've talked to dispensaries and resellers and MSPs and the players. What's going on out there with in the midst of coronavirus?
Well, we're in some uncharted territory here because you know all of these cannabis businesses have been deemed essential services, despite the fact that they have not been decriminalized. And so I think what's going on here, at least what I'm hearing from the industry is that with the lockdown in place, people are worried about their supply, you know, how much they're going to be able to get, that sort of thing. And so, what's happened, and speaking, with some friends on the West Coast prior to the lockdown that they experienced, once they heard that there was going to be a lockdown, you got kind of for lack of a better word, like the Charmin effect. People went out there and started buying, cannabis where normally, they might say, hey, I'll just pick up an eighth or something like that, or, even, a few grams. Now people are looking, they were initially looking at whether long term they would have access to the product. And so as a result, it was causing, or it has caused quite a bit of lines, and which has also resulted in some of the dispensary owners having to look at new and innovative ways of servicing their customers. I'm seeing things in the industry that a month ago, if you and I had pitched this concept, would be unheard of. Like some of the dispensaries now have drive-throughs, um, where
Wow.
you place the order, you get up there, give them your name, the credentials and so forth, and pay for it, and you drive on off. Others have experienced, lines for, in some instances I've heard, over an hour to get into the dispensary, and then dispensaries running out and having to restock their shelves, for later on in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I did a little bit of research once I read this article last week, and I kind of poked around. There's two elements at play. This will be no surprise to you, but you have the medicinal user, the medical use case, where Duane, at that point, for a lot of people, it's no different than going to the pharmacy and stocking up on your high blood pressure meds and your cholesterol meds. I mean, there are people that use CBD and marijuana for medical purposes, of course. And so that's on, the one hand is that resembles kind of stockpiling your pharmaceuticals. And then on the right hand, it's the conversation's a little bit closer to a liquor store where I'm going to go get my handle of vodka
Right.
and have it because I have anxiety, and the way one might have a vodka cranberry is the way one might consume cannabis for recreational purposes. So that was interesting to me too, that there's sort of a bifurcation in the purchasers that is contributing to the surge, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think for some individuals, cannabis, is very much a replacement for alcohol. In a lot of states, we're seeing where alcohol consumption has actually gone down, through cannabis use, and I think much, still using that alcohol analogy. I believe that, a lot of people are thinking, hey, I could be in the house for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 8 weeks. What do I need in order, if these guys decide to completely lock down the state so that I can't go anywhere? And so, I think as more states, especially on the recreational side, as more states continue with the lockdown, I think we're going to see, larger and larger quantities being purchased because people just don't want to be without it.
Yeah, yeah, I would concur. Well, let's wrap on this. That what opportunities do you see near term for you're a distributor, you work with resellers and MSPs. So what are you hearing and what are you projecting for near term opportunities for our crowd, the MSP, and so on?
I would encourage any MSP to, especially one that is connected with a dispensary, a grow process, to start talking to them about some of the pain that they're feeling right now. Some of those guys, are still using archaic inventory management systems. I don't see it, it's not as prevalent as it used to be, but, some are using Excel spreadsheets and things like that. This is, really an opportunity to capitalize on some of these pain points because you can help these guys be a lot more efficient. I would look at, kiosks. That's a big one, to have people be able to go in, especially, given this, coronavirus. People aren't comfortable talking with other people where, they may be more comfortable doing a kiosk payment. And it's also an opportunity to look at, some of these guys and to, look into loyalty and mobile applications. This is really a great opportunity to embrace this industry and to treat it, as it should be treated, like a traditional retail store, and to afford those guys the technology and the benefits that come with it.
All righty. Well, we'll make that the final word. Needless to say, when we speak in a month, the world will be very different yet again. So hang in there, wash your hands, stay safe, Duane.
Hey, you do the same, Harry. I'm glad we did it like this. The last few podcasts, I think we were too close. So you stay 6 feet away, bro.
There we have it. And thanks, Jenny, in the radio control room. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jenny.